Hello, hello, hello. It's the 23rd of the 5th, 2025. The time is 2 minutes past 12, and we are T minus 28 minutes away from FP1, the Monaco Grand Prix, round 8 of the 2025 Championship. Oh, the humanity. Let's go. I'm here for it. Brett, Mood, Vincent, Jithu, Dylan, and Madison, the latest great and greatest members of the Elated Peddler membership club. Do you know what I mean? Infinitely grateful ad infinitum to each and every single one of you. It's going to get techie over here. I hope you guys have watched the preview video where we go through all of the relevant pertinent threads at which we need to pull enunciation Cameron hashtag going into this race weekend. Then it is all around the mandated two-stop, is it not? What are they going to do? Some of these tax avoiding F1 drivers and teams, and I say that euphemistically, some of these they're gonna pit on lap one, aren't they? Get themselves some clean air, split the strategies, diversify your strategic portfolio. Surely just makes sense. I think that's what we're gonna get, and I think as we see Martin Brundle getting his cheeky OBE, long overdue. I mean, call that a knighthood, any? What does that dude need to do to get a knighthood? Chat, bloody Nora, this is ridiculous. Martin Brundle, shout out to that dude again, legend of Formula One. But it's going to be techie going. Is it Monaco Grand Prix? Always, it never ceases to be divisive as a product, and as a tool, and as a race. Moreover, yeah, it's glitz and glam, but sometimes to those looking in from the outside, it does feel like us and them, right? Front and centre of the mind are the multitudinous instances of Martin Brundle's grid walk. Simone Ashley didn't even want to talk to him. What are we doing? Like, you're a celebrity and you're on the Monaco Grand Prix grid and you don't want to talk to Martin Brundle. Make this make sense, chat. You know what I mean? What's going on, Funk? You good? I hope you have a great race weekend as well. We'll be here. What's the smart money fastest FP1? We'll get a cheeky poll out for that. Double pit, then run till the end. I think, Brett, that might be a shout because you double up on your clean air, right? I think it will be phased. I think some of them will do one stop instantly, and then some of them will just get two stops in instantly, and then they go straight through to the end because I think the tyres can handle it. I mean, it's not high speed, right? Oh, Ted Kravitz saying exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, it does. Ted Kravitz making the antithesis argument that it feels a bit artificial and contrived, that they've taken this jewel in the crown that is Monaco, pure racing, do you know what I mean? Threading the needle, doing the impossible. They'd never sanction this if they were suggesting it now and had never had a race ever. It's too dangerous, right? So you've got this, it's street circuit. It's a juxtaposition, right? It's almost a contradiction in terms of a race. It's pure, but it's street. So these cars are not in their natural habitat at all around Monte Carlo. You'd be disingenuous to argue anything to the contrary. They're not, but yet it gets the glitz and the glam, and the A-listers come out, and it's F1 movie and premieres, and Lewis Hamilton's there with all his celebrity mates, and it's like, it's weird. It shouldn't work, but somehow it does. But again, it splits the opinions of part-time casuals and part-time diehards, right? Because it's like, well, am I a Drive to Survivor, or am I Ayrton Senna Donington 1993? Or can I be both? I think that's why I try and put forth to you guys that I'm trying to blend. I'm trying to be the sum of all parts here. Like I'm trying to mix and match. You know what I mean? Be a mixtape of an F1 fan. This is what we're doing over here. That's a good way of summarising what's going on. Music is live. Brett. Oh, the humanity. Cameron, I need your investment advice, lad. I'm stinging to lose more money than I could afford. Do never. Go on then, money. You'll never hear financial advice from me on this channel. But you should never invest more money than you can afford to lose. That's your umbrella heading, not financial advice from your boy Cameron CC. And in the second instance, if you're talking about markets, are you talking about markets, or are you talking about being a betting degenerate? Betting that I cannot encourage being a betting degenerate unless you're a tiki Patrick Vate and a professional gambler. But if you're talking about timing the market, then it's all about time in the market as versus timing the market. One is in the continuous, the present present continuous. Different verb conjugations. But anyway, I digress. Invest in a good account at 100%, Max. I mean, I couldn't tell you. I've got a decent accountant downstairs, but I don't know anybody else. Oh, was Lewis Hamilton on camera? I mean, he looked, not the pause, but he looked, that was a decent picture with him in his black helmet on that MV Augusta motorbike. Do you know what I mean? Did you hear George Russell giving Maximilian Verstappen praise as well? Bloody Dora, what are we doing? I mean, we must be living in some sort of parallel world. Look at Liam Lawson, looking more and more like a 70-year-old Jenson Button by the day. He, bless him. It's no, it's not a good look, is it? From Liam Lawson. I feel bad for the chap. It is the honest truth now. I'm not jesting. It's a very, very difficult circumstance. It's almost as if like Samson when Delilah cut his hair, that since Liam Lawson jumped into that Red Bull racing car, it feels and looks like that fella's lost his mojo, forgotten almost who he is with that stint. And I don't know. I don't know, chat. I have no idea. Yeah, Brenda making the point about the 2 stops. And congratulations to Naomi Schiff, by the way. With baby. Turned up nevertheless, do you know what I mean? Still terms up for that, don't hate that. So red number 44 bike. Well done, Lewis. It was great. The ladies go ahead, the ladies approve. And the men apparently. Ladies want to be with him. Men want to be him. He's not a bad chap, Lewis. I know he's not for everyone, myself included. Sometimes I'm not I mean I go a bit hard. I do go a bit hard on Lewis sometimes. 200 of you in the chat can Cody do me a favour and smash a like. It lets the algorithm know that we're not out here talking rubbish and leading F1 fans astray and or down the garden path. It makes a massive difference, please. And do me a favour, share with an F1 friend if you could, because again, that's really, really important. We are T-minus 21 minutes away from cheeky FP1 round 8 Monaco Grand Prix 2024. I'm here for it, chat. I tell you what, the peak of the race weekend will of course be qualifying. Yeah, the race is a procession, but you almost want to turn it. I tell you what, if I were ever going to go to Monaco to see the festivities of the automotive pugilistic variety, then it would of course, it would be for the Saturday. I mean, legacy and heritage, bloody, as they show a cheeky vista of the World Championship. Currently, Oscar Piastri has the whip hand, gapping Lando Norris to the tune of 13 points, 146 place to 133. Max Verstappen a further 9 points adrift of Lando Norris, aka Dustin from Stranger Things, 22 points off of the championship lead. It's techie that. I didn't realise how far Max was behind. They say that, listen, it's only a third of the championship gone, right? 8 races. But I don't know. 22 points is practically a race. They're playing it down and saying that Max is still in it. And listen, never bet against Max Verstappen. Those are the rules of the channel always. But 22 points is a lot, chat. Okay, so if you're going to rebase it from McLaren's doable competitive advantage over the first 7 rounds of the 2025 season, then that's a different thing. By the way, speaking of championships, have you heard this constructors? So McLaren lead the constructors on 279, not that anybody cares. Red Bull are in third, 131 points. Ferrari are in fourth on 114 points. I rate that gap as 160 something points, right? 163 if I recall correctly. Meaning, therefore, the gap between Ferrari and McLaren in the constructors, as at the final race last year, the dying embers, was 14 more points if I recall correctly. Houston, we have a problem as far as Scuderia Ferrari are concerned. That's what I will say. That is chaos, ladies and gentlemen of the F1 jury. Absolute chaos. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what else. That is bonkers. Ferrari are swimming up SH1T Creek without a paddle right now. It's not good. Good luck, Frederick Vasseur, going into your annual general meeting, justifying to the shareholders who have invested in Scuderia Ferrari, them their red cars with them yellow badges and black prancing course at the top, millions upon millions of US dollars, euros, Great British pounds sterling, Good luck justifying to them, Frederick Vasseur, why and where your performance has gone. This isn't just underperformance now, chat. They'll be talking year on year. I mean, I sit in these meetings ad infinitum in perpetuity. They'll be looking to compare year and year. What's the improvement? Where's the improvement? Frederick Vasseur, what are we doing this year that we weren't unable to do last year? Well, they'll be having the inverse conversation. We were here last year. We very nearly won ourselves a Constructors' Championship. And now, as at the third race, or 1/3 of the way through the championship nearly, or as we will be after Monaco. How are we 160 points adrift of the constructor? This is nuts, chat. Honestly, they're gonna have to have some conversation. Oh, and by the way, we will get to the timings, of course. Live timing just not available. And again, timing for this session is provided by the legends over at Multiview. If you like yourself some metrics to accompany your viewing of all things the Fs, then do yourselves a favour and download on your desktop the latest and greatest, the goatiest F1 app to have ever been F1's. It has a name, and its name is Multiviewer. Shout out to the guys and girls over at Multiviewer each and every single time. Let's try and get ourselves some. As they're dissecting, they're still dissecting for look at this, chat. They're still dissecting for turn 1, lap 1. Round 7, the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Listen, I think this is one we're going to be talking about. This, the last airbender is here. Adrian Newey is indeed in attendance. It's chaos to see him, in those. It just looks weird, much like they talk about Senna. Matt Bishop on the colossally that's history. On that podcast, Matt Bishop said that when he looks back at the photos of Ayrton Senna in them there Rotherham. Is it Rotham's or it's Rotham's, isn't it? The Rotham sponsored Williams overalls. Matt Bishop says that it makes him feel sad because Ayrton had you associate Ayrton in his prime with McLaren, right? The red overalls. So it almost feels wrong. It leaves a bad taste in the mouth even to see the picture of him in the Williams overalls, because that wasn't Ayrton. Ayrton was, he was getting older, he was less fresh in the face, he was concerned, wanted to retire, but had to keep going because, do you know what I mean? So it was almost, seeing Senna, it's a bad ending ultimately, isn't it? Seeing Senna in the Williams overalls, says Matt Bishop, and I agree with him, you're just reminded of it. It's the tragic ending, isn't it? It's Senna, San Marino, it's him struggling in the car. Mood, you're a legend. Thank you so much. And by the way, if you want to join the channel, you'll get access to a couple of different things. Emojis, preference and deference in the chat each and every single time. Access to the Discord, get yourself over to the community tab, and a cheeky newsletter once a week, hopefully, when Cameron's had his Weetabix. You guys are legends and I appreciate you. In fact, let me say this, Luke. Yeah, no, Naomi is back. Bless her. With ovened with child. Let me say this up front and central, because it's important, and I make no apologies for labouring this point. I'm grateful to each and every single one of you. It is my name above the door. Yes, of course it is, but substantively, it's you guys who help to build and grow and create this channel by dint of your industry and your back and forth, holding my F1 feet to the fire, calling me out on my bull feathers and keeping me honest at each and every single turn throughout all the 3 sectors as far as F1's modes of discourse are concerned. Stick the landing camera. That's a really good point. And then you fluff the landing, chap. What's wrong with you? Guess you got paid. Let's go. Did you get paid off Max? Jeez. Listen, I'll be honest with you guys up front and personal. Like I did have a cheeky wager on Max, but I just didn't think. This is testament. This is how you know the Max Verstappen naysayers are talking rubbish. Just compare. Listen, everybody. If it was that easy for Max Verstappen to go and win that race, everybody would have had their mortgage on him. Do you know what I mean? Go and place your mortgage at the bookmaker. Not financial advice. Definitely don't do this. I say this tongue in cheek. But if you think Max Verstappen should win the race and drop it on, if you think that it's going to be that easy, then take the bloody 6-1 that the bookmakers were offering you. You wouldn't, because you didn't know, because it was scary for Max Verstappen. There was no way. I thought that Max might drop it on pole, so my money was on the Max Verstappen pole, and he very nearly did, notwithstanding working with and around a vehicular deficit. That car, that MCL 39 is quicker. Of course it is quicker. I don't care how cool the climate is. Oscar Piastri showed it, notwithstanding getting held up a little bit in set 3. Oscar Piastri and that orange papaya coloured car was quicker than Max. It just was. This is the truth. So I thought that Max might drop it in pole. Did I think that he was going to win the bloody race? Are you having a joke? But no, the Max Verstappen naysayers and Abbots of Unreason want to get wise after the event. Ask them how much money. If it was that easy for Max Verstappen to win the race last time out, ask them how much money they had on him at the bookmakers. They didn't, and they wouldn't, because they knew that Max Verstappen was an outsider to beat those McLarens who have a durable competitive advantage as far as their pace in absolute terms. That's how you know. The truth and the light will see them. They want to downplay their achievements after the fact, don't they? Oh yeah, no, Oscar just let him through. Are you having a laugh? Do you know who? Have you not seen who Oscar Piastri is? A typical trait of the Abbots of Unreason as far as F1 is concerned. Always wise after the event. Always a god tier Monday morning quarterback. Do you know what I mean? Armchair settings, like it's not. I just can't. Check them out. What they were saying at the time was Max. What's your prediction? You think Max is going to win this race? Oh no, he can't do it. Of course he can't do it. Couldn't do it because McLaren have the bloody quickest car. That's why. And that's not saying it. They weren't saying anything. That's why the bloody experts had Max Verstappen as a massive outsider to win a race. He wasn't going to do it. He just wasn't going to do it. Look, you guys know me at Max Glazing Central over here. You guys know if there's anybody who knows how good Max is and can and will be, it's your boy Cameron CC over here. Do you know what I mean? With his unique brand of Max Glaze. I didn't think Max was going to win that race. There you go, chap. Tells you all you need to know about the extent, the length and breadth of the Maximilian Verstappen achievement now. Does it not? But I digress. 260 of you watching concurrently. As we see Max, as we see Sir Lewis even, and Charles Leclerc coming into the... Let's have a look at this. Qualifying Charles Leclerc defeating Lewis Hamilton. Season to date 6-1. Races 6-1. Points though quite close. 61-53, eh? Drivers' Championship. Charles is in 5th. And Sir Lewis is in 6th. A bit techie. Yeah, no, it would be good. It would be good. It would be good, Simon, if we could see a... I'll tell you what would be good. If you could see... I wonder if Crofty's going to be in the... He'd probably be in the commentary box again. I feel like they're phasing out Crofty. Get Tomo F1 in the commentary box or somebody with a bit of a... Oh, mate. Charles Leclerc in them there overalls. White overalls. Don't hate it. Old school style. And again, in celebration of 75th anniversary of their partnership with Shell. Something like that. 261 of you in the chat. I think everyone forgets Oscar's third year is crazy, Brett. There is such a thing called risk-weighted gains. If you look at how well Oscar's doing under that umbrella heading, then in absolute terms, Oscar's doing fantastic. But then when you realise that his denominator is the fact that he's only in his 3rd season, the performance goes, it looks so much better, right? 3rd season, and you're leading the championship to Lando Norris, who is not a bad peddler. Whatever you want to say, Cameron CC, he's not bad. Lando is not slow. Do you know what I mean? He's rapid. So square that F1 circle then. He's Lando's not bad. Okay, so we can have that conversation about mental fortitude et al. But I mean, flipping Nora, what are you gonna do? I tell you what, Oscar doesn't need to win the championship this year. Even if he just beats Lando, that has to mean something, doesn't it? Has to, I think. In my humble opinion, but I wonder why now. What do I know? Right. Let's get in the chat. T-minus 9 minutes away from a cheeky FP1. Round 8, Monaco Grand Prix. Boo! Boo, Monaco Grand Prix, they say. There'll be no overtaking. Do you need overtaking, chat, for it to be a brilliant race? Or do you need circumstance? I would argue. I mean, we got overtakes last race weekend, didn't we? Not a million of them, though. We just knew, for the most part, I mean, it's phases, isn't it, the race? Start, middle, and end. But if you overlay those circumstances, those acts of an F1 race, then with uncertainty and stakes, then you've got yourself a winner, right? That's what we need. Right, let me get this in front of me. Pope San Miguel, too kind as always. I think everybody forgets Oscar's third season. I've read that already. It's crafty, but I don't know, Luke. I assume so. Monaco should not exist. Oh, Mood, you're the sacrilege. I mean, revoke that chap's F1 pimp cut. I agree with you, though. I say that tongue in cheek. I do agree with you. It's let's get a cheeky poll out. Does F1 have a space on the F1 calendar as at 2025? Let's Monaco. I'm going to steal Tomo's language. Banger. Forgive me, Tomo, if you're watching, chap. F1 Grand Prix banger or clanger. Trademark Tomo F1. Go and subscribe to that chap if you're not already. God tier. I'm stealing his terms. Does FP1 and FP2 again a setup practice for Iran? Let's go. Alluding to the fact that Max Verstappen's team, Verstappen.com, Redline, they also allude to the fact that F1 is Max's part-time job, his full-time vocation, his first love, his firstborn is sim racing. Some say that he loves it more than does Oscar Glazing from a Nazi here. And mate, Brett, he's not been bad, chap. He's not been bad. I was listening. We'll go through later on when we go long. 8 p.m. tonight. We'll go on Formula Fridays, Formula One Fridays, or something like that. We'll go long. We'll go for 60 minutes. And I heard a cheeky clip of one Oscar Piastri, and he was being asked around. I'll save it. I won't bury the lead. We'll talk about it tonight. It was on the Checkered Flag podcast with one of the go-toest F1 journos to have ever go-toed, the one that they call Andrew Benson of the BBC, chief F1 editor. And Andrew asked him a question about how he came to be friends, to have as his manager one Mark Webber, and his answer was fascinating, especially when you compare and contrast who Lando is as versus who Oscar is. Pope San Miguel, you're a legend of Varticon. Hi Cam, my old YouTube channel was copyright struck. Oh bloody Nora. Can I have my blue coat like before? Do you Pope San Miguel? I can't I don't even know. Why? What were you doing? Pope San Miguel? You've got to we're using F1 footage. You've got to be careful, chap. Of course you can have a cheeky blue coat, mate. I'll sort that. Remind me, Pope San Miguel. Jomo in the house, moderator extraordinaire. 286 if you're watching. Only 66 likes. Unacceptable. Do me a favour, therefore, and smash yourself a bloody like. Smash the like, please, because it matters. It helps. Right, let's get some timing going. Here we are. Bear with. Let's get ourselves some cheeky metrics going. Some cheeky metrics. Let's go. We are T-minus 5 minutes away from FP1. Round 8. Monaco Grand Prix. 2025 and I'm here for it. These guys and girls, by the way, will need to get in a lot of mechanical and aerodynamic due diligence with a view to optimise for pole. Pole is option. Notwithstanding them trying to make it a bit techie, than techie things, it will still be important that you now optimise for pole. You saw them last year. Oscar Piastri trying to breathe desperately down Charles Leclerc's neck, but there was nothing doing, was there? Ultimately, drop it on pole and 9 times out of 10 you can expect to have yourself a cheeky race victory. 9 times out of 10. There are no guarantees in F1, do you know what I mean? There will always be an X factor, a variable beyond the control of the fire-breathing peddlers, dragons, currently on the grid. Right, what do I need to do? Let's get cozy. Let's sink in. Should they have a race in the Bahamas? I mean, I don't see why not. Zach Maloney, his part of the world. There we go. Let's get ourselves this on the go. Right, we are a couple of minutes away. T-4. Monaco round 8. Monte Carlo even. Look at that. Donate that French Riviera. Some of the best parts in the world. Some of the best views that you can see in the world. 3.3 kilometres. 297 kilometers per hour top speed. 1 minute 10.166 is your track record. Elevation 42 meters. 78 laps will be your race distance. 1 minute 12 is the race lap record. Sir Lewis Hamilton back in the day. 1 DRS zone even. C4, C5, C6, and again softer as versus the equivalent fixture last year, with a view to encourage and facilitate additional pit stops. 318 of you in the chat, do me a favour, smash the like. Do you know what I mean? Pope San Miguel, let's go. Pope San Miguel, let's go. I will sort out, remind me, Pope San Miguel, but I've technical difficulties all over the shop. I will get you a cheeky blue spanner at some point. Is winning a WDC against Max worth more than one when Max is at 1,000%? Max, 1,000. There's a lot of Maxes in that. So go on then, Max Flashheart. I've always been a firm believer in. Let me get these metrics up so you guys can see. I've always been a firm believer, I'll be honest, in F1 maths. The value of a championship when you're beating Max Verstappen as versus one when Max isn't in the championship. The value of beating a Lewis Hamilton, a fire-breathing Lewis Hamilton in, I don't know, 2021, say, is much more than were it not with, say, Lewis Hamilton. F1 maths is a thing, really, genuinely. I say that without, I say that genuinely, without a hint of sarcasm, in earnest. Let's go. Let's go. We have ourselves, and again, cheeky metrics courtesy of our mates over at Multiviewer. Bear with. Your boys are numpty. Now there he is. Let's go. We are good to go. And again, thank you. Let me say it. I'm going to labour the point, and I make no apologies for it. I am grateful ad infinitum to each and every single one of you that join me along for this F1 journey. We're trying to set trends, trying to purple set to it, trying to build a community proper. I was talking to Shez and Baxter. Shakedown will be out at some point this afternoon. A heated shakedown where we debate whether Max Verstappen's turn 1 manoeuvre on Oscar Piastri was the best turn 1 manoeuvre of his career, and that tells you with the level that at which Max is operating at, that it's even a conversation that you can pull such a move as what he did on Oscar Piastri, round the outside, 2 trailer park girls go round the outside, that he can do that and it even be a conversation. Shout out to Eminem. Joe, mate, you're a legend, mate. Different variety. I owe you an email, sir. Hey, all, just checked Reddit and newest stories unleash the lie in a spotting of Max Verstappen's super yacht in Monte Carlo Marina. Of course, he's going to be there. So, super yacht central. Super yacht central. To be the best, you've got to beat the best. That's something that they used to say in boxing a lot, but they don't say, well, I suppose they're bringing boxing back now, eh? Easy G, welcome to the gang. And again, if you want to become an elated peddler and support the channel, bottom left hand of your screen, there's a cheeky join button, and I appreciate it, mate. Like, I don't know, I am going to labour the point again. Third time this stream as we are T-minus 1 minute away from a cheeky session. In fact, what are you talking about, Cameron? We're going already. Look at that. What are we talking about? Only 59 minutes remaining. Let's go. There we go. Right, let's get some of this going on. Boom. Shout out to Multiviewer. Legends of the piece. 275 of you watching concurrently, but only 1 like or something like that. 104 of you. 350. Do me a favour, smash the like. Please do it now. It's important. But again, not labouring the point as we are into the beginnings. The opening stanza of FP1 Round 8 Monaco Grand Prix. I already know Baxter is going to give an example of it. No. Why did they do that? If we talk, I just don't understand it. Listen, I know fandom is a real thing, and to be an extremist comes with toxicity. I get it. I'm not stupid. But if I put out a cheeky tweet asking which one of these laps is Max Verstappen's best at turn one, are we talking Mexico 2021? Are we talking Brazil in 2021 where he nailed like a gazillion people? Are we talking Imola 2025? Or as your option for, are we talking Imola 2021? Why do people all of a sudden, Lewis Hamilton morons of fans? And again, I shouldn't be so disparaging. But if the exam question is A, B, C or D, how are we getting answers of Z? Oh my gosh, Charles Leclerc already. That's got to be right. Oh my gosh, Charles Leclerc, aka modern day journalese, he made a mistake already. Brazil, Kenny was incredible, right? But that's not in the. That wasn't an option. The question, if we're talking about Lewis, if we're talking about greatest races ever, or greatest race ever, then we can talk about Lewis Hamilton and Brazil 21, right? It was a brilliant race. But if we're talking about Max Verstappen's best turn one overtake, then if you're talking about best overtakes ever, then you can talk about Sir Lewis going into turn one, dummying Max, and then setting him up into turn four, lap 46, I want to say. Cheeky lockup from Charles Leclerc. Nothing to see here. In other news, is rain still wet? Oh my gosh, early doors mistake from Charles Leclerc. Build yourself a campaign, Shaw. Street circuit. Momentum is a thing, therefore, now. What are we doing? Move of a champion. 100% mid. It was a brilliant move. Both Lewis in 2021 and Maximilian Verstappen. All of them are god tier moves. That's cool. I just don't understand it this year. Don't get it. That's the 4-time champion. He's the GOAT. And he's not bad. 4 seem to be 5, some say. He's not bad. He's that fella. He's not too bad. Quite good, Max is. Do you know what I mean? He'll go far. So Cameron, you need to check out this channel called Oh My Gosh. Oh my gosh. Too much. I can't even. I can't even. Too much. No. I think you're being sarcastic there, Cha. I'll tell you what, much. I did watch a podcast of someone, and all they were doing is diminishing. It was easy to overtake Oscar, and Oscar attributing more to Oscar, the overtake of the year, potentially the decade, more to Oscar than to Max. I can't indulge it. It's far too noddy for me at this stage. Time is a finite resource, too much. I just can't. I don't want to come in here and talk bad about anybody, but do you know what I mean? I just can't. And you know what? If people are going to be so extreme in their demeanor and their opinions, then you don't listen to me to call them out. Truth will make a mug of that, especially if you're going to come on YouTube and talk something. If you're going to be, this is why the Max glazing, right, ultimately will hold. Truth will make. Look at us. Look at Maximilian Verstappen currently backing off. He was on a purple sector as Max, and then he's backed off, being held up by the fundamentalist of F1 that is Franco Colapinto. So Umar, all I'd say to that chap is that, I mean, if you're gonna make a podcast or be on YouTube, and you're not deleting your videos, then ultimately you'll be able to look back. So you'll be able to look back at some of my calls, right, around Max and Lando failing off the starts because of his lack of a defensive. Like, you'll be able to look back at it and you'll see, is Cameron talking rubbish out here? Does he have a data bank upon which to draw as far as his wheel knowledge? Or is he just out here riffing and freestyling? And you'll see much. There'll be a pattern. Not saying that I'll bat 1,000, but surely I must be able to beat the Mendoza line. I must be batting, like, do you know what I mean? A cheeky 0.5. I won't bat 1,000, but you'll notice. You'll see them. Be able to call out the F1 muggles for who and what they are. But I digress. I can't talk badly about anybody else on here, but I mean, it's self-evident sometimes. Who'll be the first to put it into the war? There is a chap who has a name. And his name is Franco Colapinto. Shout out to Mercado Libre, his sponsor. Money has nothing to do with his appointment. It was purely competence, wasn't it? T minus 53 minutes left on the docket. It's chaos out here. Lando Norris was on the purple sector, but he gets held up again. Is that Franco Colapinto again? Get out the way, Franco. What's his problem, chat? Franco Colapinto is a chaos merchant. You know, if you get caught up behind Franco Colapinto in any session, FP1, 2 or 3, Q1, 2 or 3, then just abandon your lap. He's trying to make a name for himself, that chap. Do you know what I mean? Losing fans in real time. What's going on, Joanna? Legend. Yellows straight away. I worked on the mechanic. Let's go, Rella 69. Shout out to the Red Bull mechanic who said the same thing this time last year about the inertia valve. Defending against Peter D. Windsor's very rational-minded allegations or accusations or assertions even. Leclerc again. Shout out to Modern Day Journalese. Do you know what I mean? Oh my God. Modern Day Journalese. Already 2 instances. It's been 8 minutes, and that one isn't going to make you quicker. Modern Day Journalese, AK Charles Leclerc. That one will make you slow. Not like the Chinese Grand Prix. Do you know what I mean? Look at his wing. I mean, he was trying to repeat, wasn't it? But F1 history doesn't repeat. Although sometimes it does rhyme. Modern Day Journalese, a nightmare already. And they will say, Charles Leclerc stands fundamentalist and extremist. Will say, well, it's just an incident of the race. Just an incident of the race. That the only reason why he keeps crashing is because he's so fast. What? He's gone into the back of the Aston Martin. What are we doing? He's lucky that's not like a... Look at this. Let's have a look at the replay. Oh, no. Okay. I take back everything. That's Lance Stroll's fault. What's that? It's got nothing to do with... I take it all back, chat. I recant all accusations. That's got nothing to do with Charles Leclerc. That is Lance Stroll, a.k.a. the Incredible Sulk, being an absolute numpty. You can't park on there, chap. You can't park there. That is not red flag. Okay, cool. What an absolute tool bag. I take it all back, chat. I stand corrected. Nothing to do with Charles Leclerc. I take back all of the Modern Day Journalese, whatever. That's got nothing to do with that, chaff. That's all Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll thinks that he owns the track as well as the business. What an absolute tool bag. For those of you just jumping in, red flag circumstance, T minus 50 minutes on the docket. Lance Stroll is an absolute numpty. What are you doing, Lance Stroll? And Lance Stroll's engineer deserves to get an A-double-S whooping for that. Do you know what I mean? Can you make the chat larger? I can't make it too large. I'm sorry, I'd love to. But I cannot. Because it's too techy. I've got to be careful with... Why is my nose itching all of a sudden? Bear with, I'm coming back. I must be telling lies, right? Just like Pinocchio. I was telling lies. No, I was actually telling lies. Not deliberately, though. But for me to come out and... you've got to rescind it when you're talking so flagrantly about Charles Leclerc and it had nothing to do with him. Modern Day Journalese, I mean, he still made one mistake. And it's only been 10 minutes. And been in 2 instances. But no, shout out to Charles Leclerc. He's quick, he's Charles. I've got to give him his due. And he's brilliant last season. Charles Leclerc made me shut my mouth. Do you know what I mean? He looked more like modern day Gilles Villeneuve last year than modern day Journalese. But that being said, you've got to judge somebody in long form. One swallow does not a summer maketh. And that Charles Leclerc had a good season. It doesn't mean that he doesn't still have multitudinous incidents of the race. You know what I mean? Easy G, what's going on? I don't see your nose growing. Yeah. TikTok, the time is counting. Let's go. The time is indeed counting. Where's my bloody... The time is indeed still counting. T-minus 48 minutes and 30 seconds left on the docket. Lance was posting on it. What are you doing? Those things are so bloody dangerous. Just wallowing around in his own self-pity. Meanwhile, his dad owns the business and he should have been kicked out of F1 a gazillion years ago. I think we need to have a Lance Stroll conversation, don't we? And shout out to Rocket-Powered Mohawk. I want to say his latest video, as controversial as that dude is, I mean, he's a purple sector YouTuber. He's got some things to say. Controversial every time, but he does make good videos and they are funny. His last one where he just dived on Lance Stroll for as near as makes no difference 30 minutes was brilliant. I'd forgotten some of those Lance Stroll ineptitudes. Mate, showcases of his god tier market leading ineptitude, and then you watch that video and it's like 52% of you say Monaco Grand Prix is an absolute clanger. Shout out to Tomo, trademark Tomo F1. Go and subscribe to me old mate Tomo if you're not already. Your boy Cameron over here doing what he hates most, plagiarising. How very that I couldn't think of the words. All that came to mind was Tomo's bangers and clangers. It's chaos. McLaren's brakes were illegal. Worked with the guy who designed them. Oh, really? Shout out to Callum Nicholas. I don't even call him Callum. You know, anybody who rides against Peter D. Windsor will have a problem with me. Mr. Peter D. Windsor is a friend of the channel. If you're going to rally and start effing and blinding at Peter D. Windsor, then you will have a problem with me. Full stop, new paragraph. And Callum Nicholas was less than he didn't give Mr. Peter D. Windsor the due respect, his due respect, team winning manager in 1992. Do you know what I mean? Nigel Mansell settings, put some respect on his name. Talk to Peter Windsor nice, you bloody Red Bull ex mechanic muggles. How very dare you effing blind. I don't care if it's on Twitter, and that's why I don't think you'll ever see that. Anybody that disrespects Peter D. Windsor, how much he's given to this channel, do you know what I mean? He doesn't need to talk to me. I'm a noob. I'm a B-spec F1 mind, but I know nothing. So why would Peter D. Windsor speak to me? If he wasn't just, if he didn't just see something in the community that we're building, and isn't just a very nice, humble man. Meantime, anybody who rises up against Peter Windsor, you think you're going to see them on this channel? No. This is Cameron CC. Do you know what I mean? Not Judas Iscariot PLC. No chance. No. There is a man must have a code. T-minus 45 minutes left on the docket. It's itching because the Goat is number one. Oof, let's go, Sir Lewis Hamilton. Putting some respect on his name. Look at that. So your current runners and riders with T-minus 45 minutes and 30 seconds left on the docket. You have Sir Lewis Hamilton, purple sectors, 145.576. Ironically, no purple sectors in there. He's just put together a lap comprehensive. Massimilian Verstappen currently sits in second on your timing sheets. This FP1 of round 8, the Monaco Grand Prix. Piastri, Norris, Charles Leclerc, Fernando Plan, Alonso, Lance Stroll. I can't even say his name without throwing up in my mouth because of that bloody incident with one Charles Leclerc. What is he doing? Antonelli in 8th, Albon 9th, Hulkenberg in 10th. Should I go down lower than that, chat? I don't even pay attention. If you're in 11th to 20th, the only time I care is when we're talking about the drop zone in qualifying one. Is that harsh? Is that intellectual snobbery? By the way, the shakedown's coming out shortly after this. It was a good episode, very worth a watch. Baxter shares, my colleagues, my peers, my brethren were in fine form. Really, really fine form. It was a good watch. You need an hour-long stream with guests to discuss this, says Max. I don't hate it. I don't hate it, Max, but I mean, time is a finite resource. We'll go long tonight, 60 minutes worth, as at 10 p.m. BST, British time. Isn't it lovely how Stroll's stupidity always manages to put all of us on the same side? He's such a glue guy. He's such a glue. How they call it in NBA. RPM calls him a window licker, doesn't he? I mean, he's a bit simple. I tell you what, if he just had a bit of a different demeanour, I don't think anybody would care about underperformance, because he's so entitled in it. He behaves as if he has 4-time or 7-time championship privilege. Do you know what I mean? That's how he conducts himself, how the swagger with which he moves, and it's like it's nonsense. It's a misnomer. He's got nothing. George Russell goes sector 2, purple. Is he about to drop it round? Go on, let's have a look at. Go on, chill out, George. Second, don't hate that. I'm a tad delayed on my visuals, by the way. Matters not. George Russell goes second. That's quick. But again, super soft tyre. Meanwhile, Sir Lewis set them. Set that. Is that you, Sir Lewis? Are we seeing what I'm seeing? As Oscar Piastri just makes a mug of me. But Oscar Piastri goes 113.8 on the super soft, say, as you would expect. Sir Lewis Hamilton, worthy of note, sets that 114.6 as near as makes no difference. On the mediums, oh, the humanity. Oh, the humanity for real, for real. Let's go, Sir Lewis Hamilton. Lando Norris keen to get back. Bloody Nora. Look at Lando going through swimming pool. Lando looks dialed in here, eh? Let's have a look at the lap time. Is he going to... He's just dropped it. Look at that, 113.6. Shoot. Sector 3, Lando. Chill out, mate. And again, the problem with Lando Norris in this MCL 3.9 has been at the altar of a couple of different things, notable ones. First, turning, combined entry. The car doesn't give him the level of feedback that he needs, the cues, in order for him to detect when he's about to experience a cheeky oversteer moment. So too, as at the apex, it's an understeery merchant, is this MCL 3.9, as versus what the MCL 3.8 did. And that will suit Oscar Piastri right, because he's, Oscar Piastri touching the barriers. He did touch him, it wasn't close, David Croft, but you'll learn, as per Maximilian Verstappen, that there is some give in them there barriers. That's why a couple of years ago, when Max Verstappen gapped Fernando Alonso in the final set to the tune of 0.3, on the straight, the start-finish straight, Max Verstappen was happily brushing the barrier on the inside to his right, because he knows that there's lap time in it. They will do it, and do it happily, because the cars won't damage. There's give in them there not concrete barriers, they're bloody arm coves. I don't know what the word is. Lance was posted. It's crazy. He was indeed. TikTok. Right, I need to do one of these. Virginia Beach, says CJ. Those McLarens are so well planted on the track. They look quick, don't they? Low speed turns, medium duration. Raskas, Casino, Etal, as Maximilian Verstappen going quickest there. Look at this. And Sir Lewis Hamilton on mediums again says, I'll see you that and I'll raise you this. On mediums, Sir Lewis has just done 19.2, a tenth quicker than Maximilian Verstappen. What are we doing here? Or half a tenth quicker than Max Verstappen, although Max is going purple. Max is about to go top, I think. Let's have a go. All eyes on the Max Verstappen lap to see how high he can go. 113.6 is the time to beat. No, but he's on hards. What's going on here? So they tell, oh my gosh, Matt. Okay, all right. Signal of intent from Max Verstappen. He's just done that 113.9, 3/10 slower only than Oscar Piastri in that there papaya coloured car on hards. Carlos Sainz goes 114.3 on hards. Lewis Hamilton, there we go. Lewis Hamilton goes 114 flat. Cheeky lockup in sector 3 from Sir Lewis. On them, their yellow medium compound type. That's impressive from Max, I think. That is impressive. To do a 113.9 on hards. Oof. Oof. Fwah. How do you like it, F1 chat? Go on then, your runners and riders with 39 minutes. Lando, there he goes. Lando goes top of your timing sheets on super soft day. They're getting those times in our McLaren on them. They're super soft. Because, of course, I think that makes sense. Blue flags. Bloody Nora Shaw. Chill out, mate. Through swimming pool. La piscine. Shaw gone third. Props. You'll see that there's a temporal disconnect between my visual and my timing sheet on the right hand side of your screen. Pierre Gasly goes up to 6th. T-minus 38 minutes and 56 seconds left on the docket. Cheeky look at Liam Lawson struggling, getting held up. Raskas, bloody train. I mean, it's going to be oh no, Liam Lawson was on a hot lap and just got held up, didn't he, by the Ferrari, Scuderia Ferrari. I nearly hit Hamilton. He like braked right before the last corner. Usual Hamilton stuff. Bloody no, doesn't like him. He's setting himself up for a lap, isn't he, Lewis? Lay off him, Liam. Do you know what I mean? When you win 17,000 championships, then maybe you might be able to critique Lewis Hamilton. I tell you what, Liam does rub me up the right. I don't have much empathy. I should, because he's a rookie proper this season. But I don't have a lot of empathy for Liam Lawson. He needs to show and prove. Jomo, you're a legend. I appreciate you, mate. And for those of you for whom I am eyes and ears, I endeavour to do my best and represent the activity on track, this automotive pugilism, in the very best way that I can. Is it fair, says Daniel, to state that the only difference between tyres is longevity and that performance is on par for all these tyres? I think because it's cooler. So the track temperature is 38.1 degrees Celsius, 21.9 degrees Celsius. So I don't think that's quite right. I think because even, okay, let's assume that is right, Daniel, for a second. Even over the course of one lap, right, when you're pushing properly, you're going to see that the rate at which the tyres are degging and falling off, graining and thermal wear, will affect your ability to, I don't know, drive at 10 tenths over the course of Sector 3, just like it did Fernando Alonso a couple of years ago here at this equivalent fit. It's a good point, though, Daniel. It's a very good point. Why is Sky talking about Leclerc's... I have no idea. Oh, because there was a... We'll go through it later. There's a video where you see Charles Leclerc in his SF... Is it SF90 or SF? I don't know. The black Ferrari that they gifted to him, and he was getting a cheeky McDonald's. That's why. Filling as per usual. Supermax equals Outlaw. Go on then. Runners and riders currently top of your timing sheets in FP1 round 8 Monaco Grand Prix at Monte Carlo 113 even 0.0 from Oscar Piastri. Soft compound, the softest compound tyre. Behind him, you've got Lando. Oops, Charles Leclerc. Go on, Charles, have a word, mate. Charles Leclerc third, 113.1. So go on, your runners and riders as Hulkenberg goes up to 6th on your timing sheets as they sit with T-minus 36 minutes remaining of FP1. Oscar Piastri has the whip hand on a 13.0. Lando Norris shortly thereafter. Bloody Nora, 5 thousandths. The difference between the papaya-coloured boys. Leclerc, Hamilton, Verstappen in 5th on a 113.4. And them hard, they're getting those. Look at them. Due diligence on those hards. What's Yuki? They're doing a lot of time on those hards. Bloody Nora. It's either tyres up and down the grid. Mileage may vary. So go on then. You've got Hamilton, Hulkenberg, Bartoletto, all getting time in on those medium compound tyres. Looking at the softs almost exclusively. You have the McLaren boys in Lando Norris and Dustin from Stranger Things. Leclerc's on softs currently. So too you have Fernando Alonso and Kimi Antonelli and also Stroll. What's going on here? Normally you've got some sort of conformity, but everybody's doing different things here. I think this is the gift and the curse of the enforced two-stop. I think we're going to see divergence and difference, and with that comes mistakes, right? How does a mistake from Hamilton become not making friends from Lawson? It's like Lando. It's like Lando. If you're going to criticise a Lewis Hamilton, who's a seven-time champion, 104 race wins or whatever it is now, have something, right? Can't get on your high horse when you've got no points to make. Liam Lawson or Dustin from Stranger Things, aka Lando. Of course, I'm alluding to the fact that Lando once upon a time said to Lewis Hamilton in his face, "You've got the quickest car," and have had for several years now. And it's easy to win races like that. You should win all the races. You've only got to beat your teammate. Lando Norris saying this to Lewis Hamilton. How very dare. Well, how has that worked out, Lando? And the same thing, I'm extending the same grace or lack thereof to Liam Lawson. Not that he was wrong. Not that he was wrong, Max, but don't forget to hit the like. You're a legend, Outlaw. I appreciate you. And don't forget to hit the like. Smash the like, for it is free. Seeing these cars go 10 tenths through Lapicine. So, Lewis, look at that on mediums. What is going on, chat? Lewis on mediums goes quickest on a 112.8. I thought his record in head-to-head versus his teammates around Monaco is like something like 42%. I was always of the opinion that Lewis is a demon around Monaco, but that says differently. Or it says that he's had very good teammates in Nico Rosberg, etc., etc. Somebody just got a lap struck off, didn't they? I didn't see it. Oh, there we go. Lando goes on a 112.2. 0.6 quicker than Lewis on those yellow labelled medium compounded tyres. Alonso opens at 8th. Oh, wow. Jimmy V, a.k.a. James Vowles, on the mic. Crofty taking the mick out of him and being top of the Destructors Championship last year by miles, in no small part due to Logan Sarma's penchant for connecting his car with the wall, block a car on a hot lap and get a penalty even in practice. No, they can't, Max. They don't. They're very. It's very rare that they'll penalise somebody in quali. Lewis Hamilton gets out the way nicely of Liam Lawson that time round on a hot lap. I don't think Lewis is being a... Mark my words, this 2 pit stop policy will be exploited on Sunday. 1000% too much. Everyone rushing to the pitch just after the first lap. Also, now is Max testing cards. He might go early for 2 1s. 100%. I think that might be it. I don't know. Something's going... I don't understand too much. It's way above my F1 pay grade to put together these dots. But some... Listen, they're tax avoiders, aren't they? Literally and euphemistically speaking. Like they're the greatest minds in sports. Of course, some of them are going to... Some of them, even before there was 2 stops, some of them would just come in and do that anyway. If you've ever played the game... Yeah, I played the game. Shout out to Graveseeder. If you've ever played the F1 game, you'll understand that there is durable competitive advantage, and so lap time, 4 centimetres from the wall, bloody Nora, George. There is durable competitive advantage, and so lap time, and therefore race wins in just pitting early, even if it's not Monaco, because you've got clear air, and you know what I mean? I used to do it all the time. Shout out to my old mates Dwayne and Justin and Sarge. I used to do that. It's a great look at, oh my gosh, Gasly, and who's that? Oh my gosh, it's chaos. It will be chaos around here. And again, that's why the likes of Red Bull, who will never hesitate to play a joker and roll the dice and get a 6, the way that they play their cards in quali, particularly the die numbers in Q3, lest we forget 2022, Checo Perez eating it into the barrier, bringing out a red flag. More than that, that's what they probably need to change. If you eat it into the barrier in qualifying after you've got a pole, then after you put it on provisional pole, then you need to have your time struck off now. Because you've basically guaranteed yourself by yeeting it into the barrier that nobody else is going to beat your time. Shout out to Michael Schumacher in 2006, maybe, or 2004. I mean, the new camera angles. Shout out to F1 Movie. Enhance the pace, don't they? The feeling of speed. The wide pan angle. Charles Leclerc going around there. Let's have a look at Charles Leclerc this time. 112.7, second, softest compound of tyres. Go on then. Look at that, chat. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? If we're getting on the Sir Lewis Hamilton bandwagon for a second, put some respect on his name, Mr. Mount Rushmore of F1. So Sir Lewis, with T-minus 30 minutes left on the docket, we are exactly halfway, has done a 112.8 on medium compound tyres. Charles Leclerc has only done 112.7 on soft compound tyres. Ferrari have data to comb through here to understand whether that variance is true and fair, or whether they need to normalise for mistakes. Because if that 0.15 is the difference in real time between the softest compound tyre and the yellow labelled mediums, then that matters. That's important information to consider how and why these guys need to start. I would argue that there might be durable competitive advantage in starting on the mediums, therefore. Do you know what I mean? What's there to be gained? There might be, well, to be fair, you've got to risk weight these right. You've got to normalise that absolute performance for the rate at which those tyres are falling off. That's why they just got 12. We'll have to look at the long runs of Lewis as versus the long run average of Charles Leclerc over the course of their last 12 and last 9 laps respectively. There's Max Verstappen complaining, saying that he got impeded. Shout out to George Russell, Qatar Grand Prix 2024. Max almost crashed on behind on my visuals here, chat. I can't see the Max incident yet. Oh, Max was on a hot lap, wasn't he? Yeah, Max is going, and then into Raskas. Set to 3, Dime Embers off. I still haven't seen the Max crash. I'm a gazillion miles behind on my... I know he was alright. Max had that in hand. No crash there, as far as what I saw, unless I'm missing something. Ricky says, Rorschach, I can only think of Lewis Hamilton 2021 Abu Dhabi Saudi Arabian Grand Prix even. You see what I did there, Ricky? 2020 Abu Dhabi. Rotland. 2021 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Hamilton received a reprimand and a €25,000 fine for impeding Nikita Mazepin doing FP3. It's a good memory, that, Ricky. I can't remember another incident. Verstappen incident with Bartoletta. I can't see. My Sky F1 are just dropping the ball here. I can't see anything like that. Do me a favour. Let me pause in the stream. Smash the like, please. 163 of you have done it already. Can we, as a goal, get to 350 likes? Surely we can. Come on. Please. It matters. We'll get to 350 likes by the end. Jomo, get onto it, chap. Do you know what I mean? People are out here taking liberties. T minus 27 minutes left on the docket. You runners and riders. Lando Norris has the whip hand. That new camera, that new F1 movie camera, I don't know what they've done to it. Wider in angle, but the feeling of speed is exponentially more than it has been hitherto. Go on then, runners and riders, as George Russell crosses the line. No, nothing doing from George. Lando on a 12.2, don't hate it. Charles Leclerc on a 12.4. Lewis Hamilton on the mid. That's the intrigue. That's the takeaway from this session thus far. The delta between Lewis's lap time of a 12.8 and Charles of a 12.4. Oh, talk too soon. So Lewis Hamilton has just put on the soft, so we'll see about that in real time. So remember this chat, 12.8 was Sir Lewis's lap time on their medium compound tyres. I want to see the difference between that time delta between those and what he's about to do now that he's put the quickest compound on, because that's going to be influential material. It matters as far as the decision for Saturday on quali, but so too the decision as to what these guys are going to start on Sunday. It's important. Your runners and riders after Sir Lewis Hamilton is in third, Piastri in fourth, yellow flag circumstance, Sainz, Verstappen, Snoddersan, George Russell of Kingsley in Norfolk, Alonso and Pierre Gasly. Is that Colapinto? I just don't know. It's a Williams. Nothing that's Albon, isn't it? Carlos had to follow chart. Can Williams win? I doubt it. I doubt it very much. Not that they haven't come far though. They're better, like exponentially better than they were. Having a look at it, was Carlos, not Albon. How very dare I take Alex Albon's name in vain? Should know that Komatsu logo. Okay, all right, fair. So Carlos Sainz locked up and did the experiencing, as did his old teammate Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc incident of the race and go down in the runoff area. They're lucky, as did Nico Rosberg in 2015. I want to say controversially. Let's go, people of Cameron CC. The like button is very cold, and we need to keep those like button tyres very warm. I like what you've done there, Jomo. I might steal that. Carlos had to follow Mood 66. Great minds think alike, chap. Carlito, man from Madrid. These angles going through La Piscina, chaos. Like it's bonkers. I feel like they've taken the lead of the TikTokers. They're doing something with the angles to accentuate the feeling of speed. Charles Leclerc goes quickest on a 111.9 and then their softest compound of tyres. Let's go. Gapping the like of, but Lando set his, no, so Lando's on mediums now, but he set his, that. I think that, no, negative. I thought we weren't doing apples with apples. I thought Lando had put his time in on mediums, but it is not true. He put his time of a 112.3 on the quickest compound tyres, the softest. We'll see in a minute with Lewis. Oh, Lewis has just gone quicker. Look at that. Lucy's time was a 1:12.8 though, wasn't it, on the mediums? You've just gone a 1:12.7. Go the delta, the only delta between the medium and the soft currently, as far as Sir Lewis Hamilton's evidence is concerned, 1/10. I don't think that's enough, Jack. Hey, my brother, Mr. Cameron, good morning. Just have to say, you have me with your big smile on my face just listening to your wonderful commentary. You're a legend, Mr. Wilson. I appreciate you ad infinitum for the kind words. It's hard out here in these F1 YouTube streets sometimes, you know what I mean? Your shoulders have got to be broader than mine are. Not insubstantial as far as their longitude and latitude, and sometimes, you know what, ultimately it all fades to black. I don't want to moan. Yellow flag circumstance, T minus 23 minutes and 3 seconds left on the docket. It's interesting. Up, we have a Lando Norris down the runoff area. Cheeky mistake of the unforced variety from Lando. What's new? Not like him. As if he's been perfect. I did 100 laps on Monaco in the GT. It's not a bad shot. It's hard to do though, isn't it? Playing the game, I mean, it's very easy to damage a front wing on the game. I used to just give up. What is the track record? From memory, I want to say it is, I think it's 110 from memory. Rewind back. We went through it at the very start, and I promise you. Very, very start of the stream, just before the session kicked off. Go back 5 minutes before and you'll see it. I know I should have all those numbers to hand, but sometimes I don't. Monaco is the best track to be in the zone, says yes, don't hate it. F1 is heated. Strange to see them balling it out in FP1. Pope San Miguel says, let's hope Williams and Alex are still on the upward trajectory if and when Bangkok is added to the... Don't hate it. Don't hate it. But I mean, it'll take time, this Thailand Grand Prix, this Thai Grand Prix even. That's true, you can't touch the walls. You can touch the walls, yes, 23. Matt said that he... I remember Max's famous lap, I want to say in 2022 or 23, the one where he gapped Alonso to the tune of like 2 to 3 tenths in sector 3. That like on the straight, it was really weird because on the straight they were doing something funny, like almost deliberately hitting the barrier because they was giving the barrier and they wanted to push it in to make sure. Oh no, they're not like that, Isaac. Isaac Hajar does exactly the answer. 110.4, I think. Issa, you're a legend. I never play Monaco. I don't play it either. It's too hard. Too much. I just gave up. With damage on, I mean, you can play it if you don't have damage on. T minus 21 minutes left on the docket. You can play it if you don't have damage on, but bloody Nora. As soon as you put damage on, it's like resume last saved game. It was problems. I hated it. You needed to be too accurate for me. And again, it makes you've got to put some respect on these lot's name, right? For the way they're able to drive it at 10 tenths. It's techie. What is Stroll doing? Being Lance Stroll. What else would you expect him to do at this stage? He's such a cloud show. Leclerc hangs 7 tenths on Hamilton. Different tyres though, I think. Oh no, they're on the same tyre now. Holy shoot. No, Lewis. Normally it said anywhere between a tenth and 3 tenths between Sir Lewis and Charles, but no, Charles just gone in, hasn't he? 111.9, 112 as near as makes no difference. 120.1. Hajar was caressing the water. Yeah, he went a bit too hard. There's a bit in there. There's a bit of flex, but not as much as Isaac Hajar baked in there with his very unique racing line through Lapicine. Put some respect on my name. He says, there is respect. Do you ask anything? What's Lance Stroll doing? Let's get out the... It's Fernando Alonso, by the way, not Lance Stroll. But whatever. Piastri just improved his time on mediums. It's a very good shout. Something going on there, chat. I don't know whether the track's evolved. To be fair, the track temperatures are cooling. It was 38 point something about 20 minutes ago. Now it's 36.5. So the track is evolving in real time. There's something going on between these yellow labelled mediums and soft compound. I don't know whether... Here's what I mean to say. My supposition is thus... I don't know whether the upside in terms of absolute performance on the softest compound of tyre is worth the downside as far as the rate at which they'll deg. Now, factor into that equation a couple of things. It's cooler around here than it would be at Miami, potentially. And so too, you've got to factor in that if you drop this on pole, tyre deg doesn't really matter, right? You've got to be a numpty to get overtaken around here. So I think these guys and girls are just trying to establish in the climatic circumstance that qualifying will be conducted in, which one of these tyres is quickest. That's all they're trying to do. Yellow flag settings, T minus 14, 18 minutes and 17 seconds. Even someone is going to lose or will 100% max. Imagine F1 at Isle of Man. Bloody no. I saw some Isle of Man the other day. I was like, what is going on? Popped up on my feed. Adrian Newey was indeed spotted in Aston Martin. Fair. MBS needs to get rid of Pirelli. I don't hate that, LA. Controversial though. Mr. Windsor's got friends at Pirelli, and I think he's friends with Mario Isola, the head of Pirelli. Newey looking at that ish box, thinking, why did he do this? Well, he's done it for the challenge. He's done it for the challenge and also for the shares. He's a shareholder, isn't he? As well as executive technical director, whatever his title is. And that has to mean something if you're Adrian Newey in the twilight of your career, notwithstanding the fact that you're the last there, but got an opportunity. Can you imagine that Aston Martin rocks up in 2026 all of a sudden, the race lead? Everybody's just going to do one of these and just look at Adrian Newey like, yeah, I knew it was you. I knew you the one. I always knew the Michelin glorious return, though I think Pirelli have the whip hand. And plus it would take a lot of development, right? They've got durable competitive advantage by dint of their expertise now. Bridgestone was the best at that. Yeah, Bridgestone were good. I've always loved Bridgestone. I don't know. As a road tyre in particular, I used to have RE720s on my old Peugeot 206 or 106 even, and it just felt like in the wet. Those RE720 tyres were a cheat code. It just felt like it was genuinely ridiculous, dangerous levels of grip almost. RE720s, look at that. It's about 10,000 years ago that was, and I still remember how grippy they were. Currently, with T minus 16 minutes and 20 seconds left on the docket, you have yourselves a top 10 as follows. Charles Leclerc on a 111.964, 12 flat, as near as makes no difference. Norris on a 12.3, Piastri on a 12.3 also, Sainz in fourth on a 12.5, Albon, Hamilton, Alonso, Russell of Kingsley and Norfolk, and Hajar. Verstappen sees out your top 10. I think there's a lot of play in here. FP2 is going to be very interesting. Diligent settings of the mechanical and aerodynamic variety. These lot need to play their way into their crease. Why? Because this round 8 of a Monaco Grand Prix, notwithstanding the contrived mandated 2 stops, will be won on the battleground of quality. Oh my God. I mean, get out the way. What are they doing? Come on, guys. That's a really big accident waiting to be happened. Like gargantuan, but potentially dangerous. Piastri will hit the wall, apparently. Behave yourself, Max. Behave. Morning, Coyote. Seeing forward. I feel good. Benzi, did Oscar hit the wall? Oh my gosh, so you guys have seen it already. Dangerous levels of grip sounds like no grip. Deceptively dangerous. It was wet, and I used to drive that 106 GTI on my RE720s as if it was dry. It was bonkers. Bit of controversy with the contact patch and tyre growth with Michelin. For your information, the front left is gone. Charles Leclerc was just on soft. Okay, so that's tighter. Charles Leclerc did 18 laps on those soft compound tyres in it. And they are deggy, but not that deggy, Charles. Chill out, mate. We're just seeing them. We did a 1.7 metre archetype last year, and it wasn't even hard. It just uses 660 tyres. I have no idea, Crackosaurus. This is far over and above my head. Aston, says Leroy. We'll have to think about Lance leaving the team. He has to go. Stats don't lie. I don't disagree, Leroy. But when Daddy owns the business... There is such a thing as nepotism. Oh my gosh, it's congested. Max Verstappen. I love as they go through that chicane. Like I'm going to learn the bloody turns before. I like it when people cite the turns by name. And I know most of these, but before we get into race, I'll be like, turn 16, blah, 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 Raskas. Oscar, what are you doing, brother? I haven't seen the Oscar piece, Daniel. I'm just getting on my nerve. What's going on, Coyote? 460 in the chat. We're getting there on the likes, chat. Half. Do me a favour though. Let's get up to, we can get up to 300 likes before the stream ends, surely. That's not too much stress. Can these guys get out of the way? I just don't know what they're doing. It looks like they look like George Russell at Australia last year, fiddling with his steering wheel at critical moments. Really, about half of the things currently wrong with Formula One are a direct result of current. I don't disagree. Lewis Hamilton getting impeded again. Get out the way. Oh my gosh. Lewis Hamilton just jumps off the brakes because he locked. I'd say that is of course a mistake of the unfirst variety from Lewis. You can see Lewis with his hand. He's wrestling not just with the handling dynamics of the car and load, throttle and steering inputs, but back markers. Hard when you're trying to focus on a quick lap. BIC is a top tier track. We need to get F1. BIC, what are you referring? BIC. 624 of you in the chat can currently do me a favour and smash the like. It matters. It really does. And it helps out the channel. Helps the algorithm to be assured in the fact, firm in the knowledge that we're not out here peddling anything less than F1 gospel. Do you know what I mean? Benzie, Lewis lockup. Yeah, there's a big lockup as well. But I think Lewis was getting distracted, to be fair. Too many people in front. He just overtook another back marker, didn't he? Back marker in inverted commas. And Max in Verstappen. Let's have a look at that. This lap time from Max. Only 6th, chat. Jesus. 112.6. Don't like it. Go on then. Runners and riders. Where's my old professionalism cam? My old one earbud dropped out. 11.9 from a shot. That looks quick, doesn't it? 0.3 quicker than the rest. Charles Leclerc after an early mistake. Medium speed corners. Let's have a look at this. Fastest through. Charles Leclerc, quickest. Bloody no, that Ferrari have not come to play, eh? Second, 0.09 slower than Charles. The one that they call Maximilian Verstappen, forcing to be 5 times. Third through these quick turns is Sir Lewis Hamilton. Jeez. Ferrari haven't come to play here, chat. Look at this. What's going on there? Maybe I need to put some respect. First championship, Monaco 1950 was won by fellow Argentine Juan Manuel Fangio. What a useless stat. What are we doing broadcasting? You haven't got any better stats than that. You know what? I tell you what. You guys let me know. It's only Friday, Pat, to be fair. You are right. Tell me what's your bet. Here's my idea as we round third base this FP1 stream. Bloody no, Oscar Piastri just now. Am I seeing the... oh yeah, Oscar Piastri. Oh, Oscar Piastri did have a cheeky love kiss there, didn't he? A barrier entanglement. But international circuit, says Umach. India, absolutely class track, elevation, great corners. Sad my government is dumb to put under entertainment sector instead of sports, so can't spend much. Fair play, Umach. Great knowledge, Jack. I mean, they need to go to India, Africa. They just need to sort it out, man. They just need to go. There are these untapped markets hitherto, not untapped. There was once upon a time a race in India, weren't there? And South Africa, but recently untapped. I need to do it. Go on then, let me pitch this at you, chat. What's your one suggestion for the broadcast? I'm keen to see it because I think they've got a gazillion different ways that they could improve this broadcast. My suggestion, I will go first. In the UFC, they do this thing where when a fight's happening, particularly the main events, when a celebrity tweets something out that's interesting, just put the tweet up there. Little black box. Do you know what I mean? Especially when you've got a lull in the action. I don't know. Brad Pitt says... incredible racing from Sir Lewis Hamilton on Twitter, now called X. Put it on the screen, let us see. I mean, if you're Drive to Surviving and 40% of the current population have come into their Formula One fandom by dint of Drive to Survive and Netflix, then you don't think these young 18 to 35, the fabled demographic who spend all their money and hard-earned dollars on Formula One, you don't think they'll be interested in what Brad Pitt's got to say? Of course they would. Alex Albon goes forth. You guys tell me. I'll challenge you this and raise you that chat. That's my suggestion for the broadcast, and I think it would just. If the broadcast currently sits at here, I think it would be like here. It doesn't need to be like every lap. But Brad Pitt says Sir Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton takes himself some curb. Oof. Did you see the four-wheel drift from Sir Lewis Hamilton? Oh my gosh, Lewis Hamilton. This is a F1 chap, reminiscent of Maximilian Verstappen in 2021 over at Monza, first chicane or second turn, first chicane. Dinora, Colin McRae settings from Sir Lewis. Go on, you guys let me know then. I want one of you guys to beat me as far as my suggestion for the broadcast. I think that's God tier, by the way. I think that's God tier. As Jensen Button's talking about IndyCar qualifier. I wish that I could speak to. I'm going to go back and tune in because it sounded like it was quite good. Schwartzman last weekend. I'm going to have a look. Go on, what are your suggestions? Serious airtime, Jesus, Hamilton got wings. Monaco used to be a rare street race. I know that's true. So Lewis Hamilton horse riding over the curve. Rorschach, name of wife's cat. When we met, legend. Love that. I only need to pang back. Is that too much to ask? My suggestion. Oh my gosh, Danica. I just don't know. Danica's a bit Marmite these days. Reptilian shapeshifter settings. 664 of you watching concurrently. Do me a favour and smash the like now, please. It costs nothing. It is important and we'll be live. Listen, if there's a car out and track, we'll be live for it. Max's setup already shows good, plus shows the floor and aero upgrades work. I don't disagree, Benzi. I think they're barking at the right tree. Finally, Enrico Balbo and Pierre Vacher, notwithstanding my talking about those bods in a way that was so disparaging, you'd think that they were never ever going to get it right. But it certainly felt that way, right? Hungary last year, like Austria, Crackosaurus out here gifting memberships. You know what I mean? You're a legend, Crackosaurus, a legend of the purple sector variety even, and I appreciate you so always. Oh, let's go. 657 of you in the chat. Are we not up to 300 likes yet? I'm going to keep going on about it. I like Herman Tilk circuits. We don't want in the city. I'm here for racing, not sightseeing. Bravo, Yas23. Put some respect on Yas's name, and I don't hate it. Untapped 2011, 12, 13, Seb Winall, and in 2013, Seb clinches WDC in Indy. Of late, though, how just you talking about races that happened 200 years ago? There is the famous 2013 where Seb's in front of his car in India, but bloody no. How long ago was that? 2013 may as well be 2013 BC for me. That feels like 100 years ago. I don't disagree with you, but we haven't been there in a while. Should we leave it longer maybe than Umanch? Do you know what I mean? If 2013 is recent enough for you. T-minus 5 minutes left on the docket. FP3. Round 5. Bloody Nora Antonelli. Jeez, it is dangerous around here. Reminiscent of Isaac Hadjos God tier save around the back of, was it me? I always forget whether it was Miata or Iwasa. Smahoosh that light, peddlers. You're a legend. Kayori. Get up the inside of it. Put two wheels. To be honest, I don't want to see any clown Trump car. I can't even say the name though, man. I can't do it. Why do we need to talk about politics? It's not worth it. Are we not entertained here by Formula One? Do we need to? I come here to escape from the rigours and travails of life, serious and proper. I don't want to show up, Cam. It was legendary. What was legendary mean? Is Charles second fastest driver after Max in the current grid for me? He's close. It's hard. I mean, some say that he's the quickest, even quicker than Max in absolute terms. Problem is he can't get. Oh my gosh! Look at Max going through there. Through PC. Let's go, Max Verstappen. Let's have a look. How quick is Max going here now? 112. It's a beauty when your audio and your metrics are disconnected. Max Verstappen coming through here. 112.1 on softs. So go on the difference then in absolute terms. It looks like Ferrari have done something here, chat. Brought upgrades. We'll have to go through an FP2. 600 of you watching concurrently, do me a favour, smash a like. Cheeky Yuki Tsunoda going through the chicane. Oh, too much curb. Colin McRae, aka Yuki Tsunoda. Come on, mate. Those Red Bull do not like riding curbs. Ferrari, in stark contrast, I think have found a home here because, you know, all right, then catch this. Let's connect to the causation dots. Lewis Hamilton has been talking about, or Ferrari more broadly this year, have been talking about their problem is that they want to run the car low because it's ground effect era and you optimise for the downforce that you attain underneath the car Venturi tunnels in ground effect era by running the car super low as you can get it to the ground. Reason suffice to say that you don't want porpoising or any of the other travails that come with running the car low. If you can avoid them, run the car as low as possible, right? Because that's how you nail downforce. The problem that Lewis and Ferrari have been having, mentioned no name, China Sprint, China Grand Prix, skid plank, excessive skid plank wear, is that they can't run the car low as they want because at the back the suspension isn't sufficiently rigid to avoid for excessive plank wear to where they get disqualified again. Mention no names, China Grand Prix, Sir Lewis Hamilton, cheeky disqualification. However, when you get to a track around here and you have a suspension that's pliable, how does that work for you, chap? Well, there's upside in that, isn't there? Why? Well, because you can start to ride curbs, and when you can take the geometric racing line at the chicane coming out the bloody tunnel as an example, there is lap time in it, hooking up the bloody front and what's the word that I'm looking for? I mean, it's a tax avoidance of a thing around the track where you're going to gain time in low minimum speed turns, medium duration. No, hooking the front in. Bloody Nora, these new cameras, these wide angle cameras, I don't hate them. Chat, I don't hate them at all, and especially since it's so bloody rear limited. Shout out Checo Perez, Mexican Minister of Defense. Coffee trivia time. Oscar completed every lap since Sao Paulo 2023 and has 333. I think he's got more consecutive finishes. He has got more. Hang on, I've got a cheeky spreadsheet. I want to say it's 35 now. Successive point scoring finishes. Let's have a go. Cracker or Benz even. I will 35. Yeah, Oscar currently has 35. Benzie. I mean, God, he's got zero wheel knowledge as this Cameron chap. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I'm obsessed or anything. You wouldn't know. Look at the skid plant marks in the tunnel. That, yeah, they'll all be running super low. Monaco's a terrible track, says Wulong. Oh, Wulong, you said something to me the other day that's hurt my feelings, but I can't remember what it is. I said that I'd call you out on it. There was a cheeky comment that you made. I can't remember it. Your boy's got the memory of an elephant. You guys need to search YouTube greatest camera angles in motorsport Monaco. So, yeah, I know. Rafa, I know the exact one that you're talking about. There's a famous one of Lewis going through there on a four-wheel drift. It's genius. It is genius. Monaco is the best track. Don't dishonour your name. Let's go. Yes, we have divergence. MotoGP came to India and the circuit was packed. Lots of adrenaline junkies there too. Sad my government is stupid. Though 100% so. It's 2013 BC. It's ages ago. Really good TV cut. Yeah, they're on it now. They've taken their cue, haven't they, from F1 movie. I think that's the one thing that will come good out of this F1 movie circumstance. Oscar on mediums for the race settings, probably to save super sauce for later, potentially. Or you go super sauce early, right? Especially if you're going to pit early. You're going to go for the cheeky tax avoidance. Lap 1, lap 2 pit. Get both pit stops out of the way. Then you go softs, right? That might be a strategy that I think some of them execute for. Go softs to try and optimize for a start. Pit lap 1, end of. Put another set of softs on. Go hard again for a couple of laps. And then pit again and go hard for the rest of the race potentially. But it depends on safety car. I don't think, I think the smart money will be on an early pit stop. But if you can get, it's 20 seconds of pit stop will cost you around here, and much less if you can get it around the virtual safety car or a cheeky red flag. So the smart money will be an incident early, because I think that the most frequently occurring, the median instance of incident Oh, here we go. Look at this. Speaking of incidents, cheeky steak F1 Sauber kick of Gabriel Bortoleto in the run-off area. The most frequent, we'll talk about this more, but the most frequent occurring instance of a safety car I'm betting my life on will happen in the first third of the race, particularly like the first 10 laps when everything's very congested. And so if you can get one of your pit stops under safety car conditions, then winner chicken dinner, right? We have 0 minutes and 0 seconds left on the docket. So I'm going to run away for a little bit. You guys have been legends each and every single time. Umach, Benzi, Kayori, Miami, Easy G, Jomo, every single time. Like, I'm grateful. I make no apologies for labouring this point that this Joanna, Yas23, Daniel, Crackosaurus, of course, out here gifting membership. I make no Pope Samigo. I make no apologies, chat, for labouring the point that I'm grateful for 9 in extremis to each and every single one of you. Come and join me for these streams. Hold my F1 feet to the fire and challenge me at every single turn of these F1 modes, nuanced F1 modes of discourse. We'll be back 30 minutes before FP2 as per usual. Speaking to and pulling at all of the pertinent F1 centric threads. You guys have been legends. Between now and then, prosecution will rest no further questions. Your Honour.